Germans don't think outside of the box.
And once you leave Germany and live somewhere for 2 years or 3 years and you come to Germany, I think you will see it. The optics of seeing a Nigerian restaurant on Oxford Street is something that needs to be applauded.
If I'd stayed in Germany, I don't think I'd be there.
See, that's the part that bugs me a lot. We always talk and try and find a reason as to why Black Germany can't get to certain levels. But then if you say something like, if you hadn't been to Ghana, mind you, Ghana, as banging as Ghana is a third world country. So how can Ghanaians be more advanced in that level of music than Black Germans?
There's a building in Altona. That's where my church is as well. There's 3 churches in that building. All those churches are Ghanaians, and everyone goes to their church. Do you get what I'm saying?
Wow. Darius, welcome, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Firstly, just give yourself a little bit of a short introduction.
I'm Darius. I would say I'm a retired musician.
Okay.
I am now like properly into ministry. Those of you that don't know what ministry is, I'm talking about
There's
church.
some people that don't know, trust me.
I'm talking about church,
Yeah.
and for now, that's taking more of my
Most
time.
of your time.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your connection with Germany?
My connection with Germany. So I was born here. I was born here, born and raised up until the year 2003.
Okay.
Where my parents decided that we should school in Ghana. So it was me and my senior brother. Yeah, and we went to Ghana. And
What school did you go to in Ghana?
in Ghana, we went to 3 different schools. So first we attended Jack and Jill School. Okay. I don't know if you know that.
The dancer man.
It's in Ridge.
Ridge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, yes. So that was the first school we attended. And then the second school was Silicon Valley International School. That's like around Ofanko area, yeah. And then the third school was University of Ghana Basic School. So you know the Legon School, university. They have a primary.
Oh,
and
okay.
SH and JHS.
Okay.
So that's
That's the one I went
was
to,
the
because I
last
went to school in Ridge. I went to Ridge Church when I was younger.
Okay.
And then I also went to Presec for secondary school.
Yeah.
So we were
Very popular,
in the same area. So did you come back to Germany after that, or what happened afterwards?
So I was in Ghana for 7 years. I was in Brother for 7 years, and then after 7 years in Ghana, my parents decided that it was time to come back. Actually, when we came back, so we used to come back every summer vacation, summer holidays. So summer holidays would be in Germany, and then when it's time, we'll go back for school.
Yeah.
Every year, I think just except 1 year we didn't do that, but literally the whole, stay in Ghana, that's what we used to do. And then one time we came back, we didn't know we were gonna stay. So one time we came back, and then our dad just asked us, do you wanna go back? And I was like, wherever you decide. And then he was like, okay, you're gonna stay. I was like, yeah, fine.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So that was, which area in Hamburg is that?
So that's in Altona.
Altona.
I lived there my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So can you compare a little bit of your childhood in Ghana to Germany? What was some of the differences that you experienced?
Of course, childhood in Germany is fun. It's fun, growing up. It's not like today. Going out, when you come back from school,
Step outside,
play with friends. When it's time to come back, your mum starts shouting for you, all of that. Yeah, it was good. But Ghana, it's different.
No, about Ghana. Ghana is like...
Ghana is different.
I think, because I moved permanently to the UK in 2001.
Okay, so you were born in Ghana?
I was born in Ghana.
Okay, wow.
I moved permanently in 2001. And I was coming to the UK for holidays and stuff, but to live there.
Yeah.
Even the first time I actually went to the UK, I think I was about 14.
Okay.
And I stepped out of Heathrow Airport. Driving from Heathrow into London looks nice. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is nice. And then you kept going. West London, West London's fine. Went over the bridge. South London, I'm like, okay. It's getting a bit sticky. Because my mum lived in Stockwell.
Okay, I know Stockholm.
Yeah, so we went to my mom's place, which is this castle house. This is the big block right in front of the station.
Okay,
where all the
okay.
foolishness happens. So I get out of the car and I'm like, because in Ghana we lived in like we lived in a region, we lived in a Chimota.
Okay.
You know,
It's
Ghana
nice
living.
places,
You get some sort of lifestyle in Ghana.
Yeah.
So I get out of the car and I'm like, bro, is this it? They put me in the lift. Somebody's peed in the lift. And I was like, yo, is this the UK you know be going on about?
Exactly.
For the first like 1 week, I was like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Wow.
But then after 1 week, I started going out by myself, checking out places. I'm I can get used to this. But then every time you go home, you're reminded, this little house, this is like our living room in Ghana is bigger than this whole place.
Yeah, UK is different.
Bro, it's just different. So it was a culture shock for me. Anyway, so I ask everybody this question before we start.
Okay.
What do you think that what do you think is the state of Black Germany at the moment for you? What's your opinion on that?
The state of Black Germany. Okay. What I would say is there's been a lot of progress. Yeah. There's definitely been a lot of progress. There's a lot that can be done, but because when we compare Germany to London, when we compare Germany to America, it's very different. Black people in London are doing much more. Black people in America are doing much more, you know, and it's I think Black people in Germany are now starting to catch on, you know. There's certain things you never see a Black person doing, like back in the day in Germany. But now you tend to see more into whether it be buy a house, even.
Yeah.
Whether it be, drive a car even. Because I remember when I first moved to the UK from Germany, I was very shocked at the number of Black people driving.
Emmanuel said the same thing. Emmanuel, second episode, Emmanuel said he actually saw a Black person in a Ferrari and he was like, bro, say less.
And I'm not even talking about a Ferrari. I'm even talking about normal
cars.
everyday cars.
Oh, yikes.
Because our parents never, unless the normal would be for your dad to be a taxi driver, of course, and that's it. But, Black parents driving was really scarce here in Germany. So me seeing that in Germany, it was like, in the UK, I was like, wow, this feels different, And so, if you ask me, what's the Black state of Germany? I think we're catching on, and they're doing a lot more. And I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement, but it's we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah.
It's very similar to what Emmanuel said. So when you say we're getting there, apart from that side of things, when it comes to Black people's relationships with other Black people, us relating to each other, where do you think that is at?
Black people relating. Okay, so I think in Germany, I'd like to say the Black community is like a tight-knit community because almost everyone knows each other. I know this person from this place. That's very common in Germany, and other parts of the world in the UK. There's so many Black people from different, countries. Different, in Germany, like the most common Black, when you meet a Black person on the road, they're either Ghanaian, most likely Ghanaian, or maybe Nigerian. Do you get what I'm saying? But in London like this, you get Sierra Leoneans, Congolese,
it is so much.
Bunch of other mixes. Do you get what I'm saying? So I would say the community in Germany is quite tight knit. The relationship amongst them, in terms of relationship.
The reason I ask what I find, and correct me if I'm wrong, I find it that there's a lot of cliques, let's say South African clique. Okay, yeah. Ghanaian clique.
Yeah.
Cameroonian clique.
That's very
Eritrean clique.
That's very true.
There's no inter.
Yes. Unlike UK. It's not
we
like
don't have that.
Yes.
Everybody your friendship group, Jamaicans, Eritreans, South
just a
Africans,
mix of
Trinidad,
other countries.
everyone. Do you know what I mean? So I
that's
think
true. That's very true. That's very true. In Germany, here it's like cliques. The Ghanaians stick to Ghanaians. Other countries, there's other countries in this, or let me say, do I say ethnicities in this country? But as you said, it's everyone's sticking to their own. So we don't get much of them.
Yeah, because what was interesting was I was actually looking at some statistics.
Okay.
The few statistics that they have in Germany, and I actually found that Ghanaians are not the majority.
Wow.
Black people in Germany, and I thought, raw, because I don't mean nothing like Ghanaians, you know what I mean? Yeah. Was always Ghanaians for me. Yeah. So that made me think, that probably means that we are in such cliques that you think that your country is the majority, but probably not.
No. That's actually, that's blown my mind.
Yeah, I found out and I was like, okay, that's interesting. How do you think that now affects like the relationships? Because obviously if you lived in the UK, you can see, like we're saying, like how to have like other people from other nations as friends and colleagues. It brings a little bit of like unity and understanding amongst all of us. How do you think that Germany not having this is affecting?
So let me link this to church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Church in the UK. So as you know, there's a lot of ethnic links in the UK. We are all together: Cameroonians, Sierra Leoneans, Nigerians, whatever, South Africans. In terms of church, because there's a lot of like multicultural. How do I say it? There's people from so many different other countries coming to church. It's not just Ghanaians. So in Germany like this, it will only be Ghanaians coming to church. So you, the pastor, are forced to speak English. Okay. A lot of pastors in Germany aren't able to speak English just because that's all they know. They're sticking to Ghanaians. Yeah. Their target audience is just Ghanaians. But as for the UK, it's different. So you tend to find out that obviously they live in the English country, but there's much more English speaking or pastors that are able to speak English, obviously, in the UK than here. Yeah. Here it's
so given in a church setting, for example, if how should I even ask? So in a church setting, is there still cliques, or do you find that there's still cliques? Because church is where all black people go and be together and worship. So do you find that there's still cliques in the church? Because if there is, then it's very bad.
Yes, there is. Definitely there is still cliques. But I think this new generation that's coming up, that they are breaking this, clique thing. But the older generation, Ghanaians stick to the Ghanaians. There's a building in Altona. That's where my church is as well. There's 3 churches in that building. All those churches are Ghanaians, and everyone goes to their church. Do you get what I'm saying? Wow. So we are very stick to what you know. Do you get what I'm saying? But as for the UK, it's not like that. You're forced to learn about someone's culture and so many other things in the UK, because there's so many different people in the UK. Do you get what I'm saying? It's culture. What's the word? Culturally mixed, different. Yeah, it's mixed. Do you know what I'm saying?
So being that you're also from like a music background, music is one of the other things that brings people together.
Yes.
How hasn't music been able to bring black people in Germany together, do you think?
So on the music front, so the thing with Germany is, I find that the music industry is filled with a lot of Germans, right? And there's only a few black people, making it in the industry. So it's just, let me use this example. They have this event called African Day or something here in Germany. That's the only time you see Africans come together.
Is that in Hamburg or?
In Hamburg, yeah. If I got the name right. that's the only time you see Africans come together, different countries. Do you get what I'm saying? And everyone comes to display their, you know, culture and whatnot, food and all of that. That's the only time. But the industry is filled with just, you know, obviously Germans predominantly, and the blacks that are in there are just a few. Where you would think that, you know, obviously music is, you would say that black people, obviously, we love music, we love to make music. Music is a big part of us, do you know what I'm saying? So, but I think that's the state of Germany right now in terms of music. But as I said, it's starting to change little by little. But compare that to the UK, it's different. It's different. It's different.
So, in your experience, have you done ministry in the UK as well?
Yeah, I'll say so. Yeah.
So, in your experience, UK is probably a little bit further because we have a history of, you know, achieving and trying to fight for things. So, in your experience, if you can imagine, do you think with this modern day, with all the technology and the internet bringing everybody closer, can you imagine Black Germans being able to get to, not to where UK is, but like close enough in the next 5 years? And how would you think that can be achieved?
Okay, so the thing is, another thing I have to say, music in the UK is much more advanced than music.
In what way?
In terms of, let me use myself. I'm a drummer.
Yeah.
The level of drums, or the level of the drummers here is completely different to the levels of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
What, skill wise or?
Skill wise, knowledge. You know.
Why is that?
I think it's the same thing with, you know, it has to do with us sticking to what we know. We only go to church, or the musicians, the kids only go to church. All they hear is obviously the Ghanaian music. And what they hear in church, that's all they know. Whereas in the UK, there's different, there's, you know, they have, I don't want to say Jamaican churches, but
there is Jamaican churches.
Let me just say Jamaican. Do you know what I'm saying? There's Ruach. Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? There's different, you know, what they will play, you know, the songs that it will play and all of that. It's just different. Do you get what I'm saying? I would say, let me say Jamaicans or Jamaican musicians, or even the ministry itself, is somewhat mimicking the Americans, Black Americans. It's almost the same. But when you watch, like, when you look at Jamaicans or you look at the Jamaican ministry, you know that, you know, this is American. Like, everything is almost the
American,
same. And the level of music and everything, the same. Do you know what I'm saying? So, growing up, when I was, my dad was a pastor. Growing up, if I hadn't been in Ghana, let me say this, I don't think musically I'd be where I am, because I was exposed to a lot more. If I'd stayed in Germany, I don't think I'd be where I am.
See, that's the problem, that's the part that bugs me a lot, because we always talk and try and find a reason as to why Black Germany can't get to certain levels. But then if you say something like, if you hadn't been to Ghana, mind you, Ghana, as banging as Ghana is a third world country. So how can Ghanaians be more advanced in that level of music than Black Germans? How does that happen?
Because Ghanaians are eager to learn. So that's what it is in Ghana. Ghanaians are eager to learn. So Ghanaians are making Americans. What the Americans are doing, that's what they are trying to do. That's what they're trying to recreate. So I found myself, like, I was in Ghana and I started hearing, you know, the music. I started hearing the drummers play. I was like, wow. Yeah. I never heard this in Germany. Yeah. In Germany, the people you look up to are the uncles.
Oh, okay.
And they can't really play. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just one of them uncles that, you know, let me just jump on the kit and help out. That kind of thing. And the level of playing, obviously, it's not the same. In Ghana,
yeah.
It's different.
So if we put that same logic into other things, do you think that there's a sense of Black Germans need to do a little bit more in terms of learning and applying certain things?
So, you know, as I said earlier, it's changing now. It's changing now. And reason being, you find I think the UK and Europe it's like they're getting more connected. Now Germans are seeing what people in the UK are doing musically, and they're mimicking that, and that is bringing progress slowly. Do you get what I'm saying? Before there was none of that. There was no link between the, let's say, Germany and the UK. But now, you know, social media, there's social media, there's YouTube, there's all of this and that. You know, we see, do you get what I'm saying? And then there's a lot of people that Germans can look up to, because they're not in America, far away. How many?
UK is more achievable.
Exactly. Do you get what I'm saying? So if anything, let's say there's a drum clinic, a music clinic, in a workshop, music workshop in London. A German can fly over there and attend and learn one or two things. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in America, obviously with America, that's too far away. And I find that with me saying that Germany and UK is getting more connected, I mean, that's all down to social media. With the help of social media, the progress is getting, you know, it's increasing day by day.
So within your interactions with people in the church, what are some of the experiences that you've had in UK compared to Germany that kind of shows where we are at the moment?
So interactions at church. So let's say in the UK, for instance, a drummer, or whether it be keyboard, whatever instrument you play, the money you can make there as compared to here. It's like, if you start mentioning the numbers that you're making there to someone here, like to charge them, they'll probably slap you. They'll be like, what? Just to play.
Yeah.
But that's the standard that's been set.
And is this in the churches or outside of the churches?
In the churches, but I'm thinking outside, in the professional setting. I hope it's the same.
I made this comparison on the second episode with Emmanuel, and God bless their hearts. I love these guys. They played at my wedding. Oh, wow. And there is a band based in Hamburg. Okay. And when I was about to get married, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. They'll probably know. They know who I am. So if they see me saying, they'll know who they are. And before we got married, at this time, you know the Composers. Yeah. Composers weren't as big as they are today.
What year was this?
This is 2018.
Okay.
So, they were bubbling a little bit, but they weren't like crazy like how it was. I always wanted a live band at my wedding. So if we got married in Germany, I was gonna pick this band in Germany. If we got married in the UK, I was gonna pick the Composers. And we ended up marrying in Germany, so we picked this band in Germany. They're very good. Ghanaian guys, very good.
I think I know.
Very good. And a few years down the line, now, they're not together anymore. I don't know what's going on with them. It's kind of like they didn't kind of like bubble as much as their talent didn't, take them up as much as I would have expected. Yeah. If you compare that to the Composers, they are out of this world. What is the difference in mindset for you?
In mindset?
Is it that it can't be seen? Like if you haven't seen someone do it, do you know what I mean? For example, the Composers, the audacity for them to say, we want to sell out the Royal Albert Hall. So
let me say this about the Composers. Like the drummer actually is like one of my best friends. Like it's my brother. What the Composers have done and what they're doing hasn't been done before at all.
The extreme audacity, like the confidence you have to do what they're doing.
The Composers need their flowers all day.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying this because I'm biased.
No. You're 100% right. They're doing amazing things, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? They pioneered this live band thing. And let me, if I'm allowed to say, in Europe, UK, Europe, and the rest of the world in terms of Afrobeats. In terms of Afrobeats, when the composers came on, like they came, everyone tried to mimic them, and they how do I even say this? There's a lot of bands now. They simply exist because of the composers. Do you get what I'm saying? And what they're doing is just mind blowing. Mind blowing. What they've done and what they're doing is crazy. Because where they came from, where they started from, you know, it's just crazy. And what they do on a professional level. They've been doing it.
Royal Albert Hall. That's just amazing. So these are some of the questions that I ask myself. So if this band had applied themselves, I don't know if they would have been at the level of the composer, but at least, do you know what I mean? I am not the most religious person out there. I do go to church. Yeah. I've had my issues with Christianity. Of course. I think that's basically because of being raised in different denominations. And finally going to London, and my mom's Jehovah's Witness, so that's another denomination I had to deal with. And eventually me growing up, I started to think for myself and kind of picking up different things. And for me, I think, as far as black people go, and this is not every church, but I think the Christian religion and churches have been some of the most poisonous things for the black communities. And I say this because there has been a lot of kind of ideologies driven by the churches, as in like the hope ideology. But that doesn't really encourage people to put in work, but just to pray and hope that God will take you out. Do you think, from your perspective as a minister, you think there's a little bit of that going on in Germany? Because if I'm being frank, I've kind of seen it.
Okay. So I would say yeah and no. Reason being is the Bible, when you read the Bible, it doesn't just encourage you to sit there and pray and things will fall on your lap. Today in the service I spoke about that today. And the Bible says faith without works is dead. So meaning you can have faith and be praying and fasting and whatnot, doing all sorts of things. If you don't put in the work that you're meant to achieve what you're meant to achieve, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I believe it's a mentality that us black people, us black Christians, we need to come out of ourselves. You know, work needs to be put in, 100%. So wherever, you know, that was picked up along the line, I believe there's miracles. I believe in them 100%. 100%. But you need to work, mate.
The work needs to be done.
Yes.
I see it quite a bit. It's funny, like, the sad part is I'm seeing it within the younger generations, it's like our generations as well. That people are, I don't have anything against it. Like I said, I go to church myself. But people are becoming too dependent or too wrapped up in their churchhood that they don't see that outside of just being a Christian, you're also here to serve the community and also make sure that people around you are being uplifted in a certain way. And I think they only think they can do that through the church and by ministering to other people. But there's other ways to support and help build people, help people build their businesses and things like that. What do you think?
I agree, 100%. I agree with you. I would say church is not just the four corners of, you know, of the building you worship in. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to go out there. Ministry is also going out there, reaching out to the people out there, reaching out to unbelievers even. Do you know what I'm saying? There's so many things you can do to help, you know, build your the community you're in. And God is 100% for that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, you know, this notion of just, you know, serving in church and whatnot, I don't believe in it personally. No.
So do you think, from your experience, the black churches in Germany, do you think they're doing enough to stop the cliques and bring other people in?
So the thing about Germany is, in a lot of things, our mentality is wrong.
Don't get me started.
It's in the bin.
Don't get me started. Not just black Germans, by the way. Germany in general. All right, go on.
But specifically talking about black Germans, let me just narrow it down to Ghanaians in Germany. It's like, A person would travel from Ghana to the UK and would want to pursue like further education, pursue this, pursue that. I want to be a lawyer. I want to, do this. I want to go into this business, this industry, I want to, obviously there's a lot of nurses there. That's, the most common thing that people tend to do. But here, all they know is cleaning.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying? So that's the same thing, that kind of mentality, they bring it into Christianity. Do you get what I'm saying? Why would you travel from there to Ghana to here to come and clean? And it's like they don't want to do better for themselves. That's because that's what everyone's doing. If you're not cleaning, you're washing dishes. I mean, yeah, you might be disadvantaged in terms of like education, but what is stopping you from pursuing that education to be able to be what you want to be? Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we do a disservice to ourselves as Ghanaians, specifically the older generation. They just settle for anything.
But are the churches encouraging this though?
So that's when it comes down to what church you go to. It comes down to what church you go to. In my church or my, I don't own the church, but in my church, where I fellowship, no, we don't encourage this. 100% not. No, not at all. Not at all. We want people to be the best versions of themselves.
I mean, are the churches encouraging people to be the best versions of themselves?
I don't think a lot of churches are doing that. No, I don't think so. No, not at all.
I think there's too much emphasis being placed on prosperity by praising and being faithful to God than working.
Yes, yes, that's happening a lot here. They don't even. Let me say this about the UK. So even what UK churches are doing, sometimes they will even go as far as hosting seminars. Bringing in people. I see a lot of churches doing that, especially the Nigerians, bringing in people from with a high standing in their professional background.
Not necessarily Christians, but
not necessarily Christians, and they'll come and educate the church members, the congregation on what to do, what not to do. If you want to go into this type of business, the do's and don'ts, and to any advice and whatnot. They do that. They also, let's say, health. They get doctors or whoever it is to come in, speak to them about health, things that they should stop eating, and just all of this. But Germans. So that's the thing with Germany. Germans don't think outside of the box. To put it simply, in every aspect, not just church. We don't like to think outside the box.
I think Black Germany sometimes has picked up the bad habits of Germany in itself.
Yes.
And I think it seeps into everything that you do. And it's very evident. Once you leave Germany and live somewhere for 2 years or 3 years and you come to Germany, I think you will see it.
Yes.
You will see that.
That's why, as as a person, you don't have to
stay at one place.
Yes, stay at one place. Don't be stagnant. Go to other places, because those places will that will give you exposure. That will give you a lot of exposure. By God's grace, obviously, I've lived in Ghana, I've lived in Germany, I've lived in the UK, and I've traveled to so many places because of ministry, because of music, and that has given me a lot of exposure. The more things you see, the more cultures you learn about, the more
Yeah, because like something as simple, because I've been doing this podcast now, I think you're probably going to be the 6th episode, 6th or 7th episode. But I've been, something as simple as saying Black Germans need to unify, we need to find some sort of unity in Black Germany. That just blows people's mind. No, we can't do it. There's too many of us. And I'm like, too many different sections, like we're saying, too many countries and too many different cultures. I think to myself, like, obviously, I'm not here to tell people what to do, but if you travel for 1 minute and go to the UK and take a good look around, you will find that the UK has more cultures
100%.
than Germany, Black cultures than Germany. But somehow we have a unifying ideology. Like, music has brought us together, and other things, our culture, we've come, not just music, our struggles, a common struggle and stuff like that. And even church. these things have brought us together. We've understood that from all our differences, we can still come together as well. But sometimes in Germany, when I speak to people, they still can't comprehend how we can have a unifying Black Germany because we have different factions of Black German.
You know, I think this stems from even in back home in Ghana. There's a mentality that we have. We don't like to work with people
that are from other.
Do you get what I'm saying? And even people from our own.
That is true.
Do you get what I'm saying? If I get an opportunity if I have an opportunity, I'm in a good place, and there's an opening for that same opportunity, I'd rather the Ghanaian here or the black person here would rather go and give to a white person or someone else. Do you understand? That's also another mentality that is disadvantaging Black Germany and the unity of blacks in Germany. So that is something from back home as blacks all over the world.
We have this mental, but I think it gets better because I think in America, America's further than the UK. I think America has gotten better as in they've started seeing, no, we need to support each other. It's not perfect, but American black businesses do very well because black people support. And I think the UK is reaching that level. I was saying to a friend of mine the other day that UK, even though we've had our problems and we've kind of got together, we're trying to get together as black people, the optics of seeing a Nigerian restaurant on Oxford Street is something that needs to be applauded. Because a Nigerian restaurant on Oxford Street is a big deal, because to be on Oxford Street, you're probably paying a lot of money. To have the confidence to say, I'm going to set up a Nigerian restaurant because I believe that not just the Nigerians, but the black people in the UK are going to support my establishment.
So this is where, like, you know, in a lot of things, this is going to be a bit controversial, but it is what it is.
We're having a conversation. This is what the conversation is about.
Nigerians are forward-thinking.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to convince me on that one. I'll let you get back to it, but one of the biggest things I've said about Black Germans is Black Germany, unfortunately for Black Germany, and I might be wrong, but unfortunately for Black Germany, the black people who are dominant here is Ghanaians, and we're backwards. Ghanaians are like Germans. We don't think forward.
At all.
Say what you want to say.
And it's evident in so many areas, so many industries, how what they've achieved. And you ask yourself, why can't we do the same? How is a Nigerian opening a restaurant on Oxford Street? That is audacious.
The audacity, bro. Like, that is...
A Ghanaian would never
do it.
Never, no.
Look at Gold Coast in the UK, the Ghanaian restaurant. One of my favorite restaurants. But it's been in Croydon for as long as I can remember. Like, he tried to bring it to Brixton and it didn't really work out. But that was a different time. I think they need to do more. Like,
that's what I'm saying. They wouldn't dare.
He's comfortable where it is.
Yeah, of course. Ghanaians love to be in the comfort zone.
Ghanaians are comfortable.
They love it. Yeah. They love it. And bro, when we speak about Afro beats, when we speak about I know that's a whole different conversation. Like, when we tell me, just list them.
It breaks my heart.
They're doing well in every industry.
Because I think people might disagree, but I think Ghanaians are a very huge part of the sound that Afrobeats is now.
100%.
But because we're not forward thinking and because we don't put our money into things.
Ghanaians have good music.
Yeah.
Our music is
but it doesn't get anywhere because we don't and I think
we don't put enough into marketing, we don't put enough into like production, like, you know, we just like to do things like in a rush and anyhow. Whereas they love to do their things professionally. I mean, they like to cross the T's, dot the I's. You know, everything has to be on point with Nigerians. And even in church, in the ministry-wise, they're doing a lot better than Ghanaians.
Is that in Germany as well, or?
Okay, so as we even said before, I don't even know of. I don't think I even know of one Nigerian church here. That's because of
The cliques.
the cliques. Exactly. I don't know of any Nigerian church, but there's definitely a Nigerian church here. There are many churches here, but I don't know of any. Look at how many years I've been here, and I don't know because of you know.
Yeah. I think it's a sad thing to see that we don't really get. When I say we, I mean Black Germans. I have put myself in there for some reason.
Yeah.
Black Germans don't really get out of their bubble to try out other things. And even, for example, with I understand there's some Ghanaian restaurants in Hamburg. Now you've been here longer than I have. There was a time when I was looking to buy Kenkey. Bro, if I say to you that I struggle to find Kenkey to buy, I'm not talking about the Kenkey in the Afro shop without the pepper and no fish.
No, you're
not. I want like Kenkey. I'm
God,
paying
yes.
money for.
Yes,
bro,
to eat.
I struggle. I didn't find anywhere. And for a community, Hamburg, where it's filled with Ghanaians, the home of Daddy Lumba, to not have Kenkey and fish and pepper, I was like, nah, this is terrible.
It's crazy.
So I don't know about other nations, but obviously you're Ghanaian. But in your experience, do you think there's other nations have the same issues that we have in terms of finding restaurants that serve
other nations in Germany?
In Germany. In Hamburg, but maybe Berlin and stuff might be different, but I don't know.
I don't think other nations are finding like they have the same problem. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because as you said, the number of Ghanaians in Hamburg alone, and to not be able to find Kenkey, is mind blowing. It's madness. Yeah. So I think it's a problem with us Ghanaians, us blacks.
You think it's a Ghanaian thing?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. The reason why I keep on saying Ghanaians, obviously I am Ghanaian, and number two, as I said, earlier you said we're not the majority in this country.
No, we aren't.
So what
Which
country?
is crazy. I can't remember what it is. I don't want to Google it, but I checked it and it wasn't Ghana, and I was like, what?
There's a lot of and the crazy thing is, Ghanaians have been coming to Germany for a long time.
A long time. Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
And I think, unfortunately, again, for Black Germans, if it was Jamaicans that came here first, we wouldn't have this.
The number of jerk chicken
shops that would be open,
here.
we wouldn't have all of this. I don't think this problem will exist. Because for UK, lucky enough, it was Jamaicans and Caribbeans that got there first. Yeah. And they fought for everything. We just went in there and kind of plugged in and did our little parts.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's another part of the whole dynamics in terms of Black Germany and where they are.
So, but another thing, is the school system in Germany is a lot different. It's different in terms of from primary school, you were already told by teachers that this is where you fit in.
No, well, as a black person or in general?
No, in general. Oh. But this tends to happen to a lot of black people. Like as long as I can remember, this you're good enough for this. Already in primary school, they can already determine that you're not going to go to university. Do you get what I'm saying?
What is that based on?
That is based on, I would say, as black children or black kids in Germany, there wasn't enough done to help us. There wasn't a lot done to understand us. No, we're not dumb. Not at all. We're not dumb. Do you know what I'm saying? But it was an everyday thing. A lot of black people were just being pushed to that. After this and this many years, go and work. You can't go to university because
there's no point.
There's no point. That's what they will tell you, and you can't do anything about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it still the same thing, or now is it?
So I'm not really sure with how the system works now, but back in the day, this is what was happening. That's why you wouldn't see a lot of black people in certain industries in this country. No, it's scarce because from like young, they've already told you now you're not good enough for this. So I think that mentality, that also filled this this boxed thinking that we have, you know, this mindset of not being able to achieve this, achieve that, you know, because no one is doing it, because this has been instilled in us from young.
This is how it should be.
This is how it should
And you
be.
better not
This
deviate.
is the reason why I ended up in the UK, or me and my brother ended up in the UK. Like it was never part of our plans to be in the UK. One day my dad just got up and said, "You're going to UK now." Now. I'm telling you now, bro, on the spot. It was a Sunday. He came back from church and then he was on the phone to his relative in the UK. And as soon as he hung up with the phone, "You're going to the UK now. Pack a bag. And we packed and we went that night.
Wow.
On a bus, Flix bus. we drove to Germany to the UK.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how we ended up there. You know, it's because of like school, the systems in school and what they do. You know, it's marginal. Like it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So
I think Germany feels like a little bit of an industrial complex, and I get that from speaking to people. It's like you're brought up to understand that you're going into the 9-to-5 work system to pay taxes, to prop up the economy and the social security, and all of those things. That's how Germany feels to me.
So you wouldn't even think of let me set up a business. Let me try and do this. Let me try and branch out. No.
Because people look at you weird.
Yeah.
Like for example, the podcast studio. I rent out my podcast studio. Every time someone comes here, like let's say someone from another race comes here to shoot a podcast, and I open the door and they see me as a black man, there's always this look. You know that look where it's kind of like, oh, I didn't expect you to be. You know, I didn't expect you. And once I go downstairs with them, the conversations they have with me in regards to how I started you can tell that they are surprised at how confident I can be to decide that I'm going to start a podcast studio and I want to rent it out. Do you know? So I think maybe it's built in. Whereby in the UK, if you start that, people be like, "Oh, man, that's a good idea, man."
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That's it. But here it feels like people are always shocked to hear that, you know. And I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day. He born in Germany, black guy, and I said to him, "This is part of my Britishness. You know, British people, we're just very overconfident." I said to him that if my daughters grew up and had to apply for jobs, for me as a father, I think I failed.
Wow.
And he looked at me like, "What?" Wow. I'm like, "Yeah.
Wow.
I don't want none of my daughters to apply for any jobs from anyone.
Wow.
How I'm going to achieve that, I'm working on it, but that's, for me as a father, that's my goal."
And, I mean, that is amazing, number one. Number two, like, obviously if you're from the UK, I don't expect this to come from someone in Germany.
They looked at me very weird. Like,
do you get what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
And
how is that even possible?
Exactly.
What are you talking
For you to
about?
be able to put that target and that goal in front of you and be like, I want to achieve that, that is mind-blowing. Like, and you don't want
So I think it's there's a lot of kind of mind building that goes on here.
100%. 100%.
If we go back to your ministry, for me, I think that the youth, the younger people are going to be like the next step in which Black Germany can go. The younger people also, from what I see, they have this opportunity to mix more with other races, and there's more interracial cliques, and their friends kind of like they're getting more connected to other races. What part do you think the church should play in molding them to uplift themselves and, you know, other Black people and kind of push the Black congregation and the Black community forward?
Hold English services. Number one. We need to step away from the tree and then, you know, the languages from home. We need to move past that. We need to be able to like create a space for other people, other cultures, to be able to participate. That's number one. Because we, as we said earlier, we like to stick to what we know. We like to stick to what we know. There was one time I came across this artist, a singer, and I was amazed at her, like how good she was and the type of music she was putting out. and I never knew this person was in this country.
What's her name?
Deborah. Her name's Deborah. I think it's Deborah. She's Congolese. But obviously, I'll never find out because I only know of Ghanaians doing this. I don't know of Congolese. But if we were more, you know, in tune with other cultures, there'll be, you know, there's a lot of talents in other, you know, ethnic groups as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think the church just needs to do more to break that barrier, that country barrier. I think they need to do more to break that because, as I said, it's the older generation that have, you know, set that standard. But it's now our time.
Bro, is like, even for me as somebody, like I said, I'm not the super religious person, but I would love to see ministers such as yourself in Germany kind of pick up that baton and say, okay, we're going to try and make everything exclusive. I would love to be a part of that in any way that I can possibly help. So I think that would definitely be something that, you know, you guys can start thinking about.
100%. 100%. I mean, we're trying our best. You know, we're trying our best to do that. We don't want to, you know, marginalize the, you know, no. We're trying to branch out, break out. Like, let's get everyone involved. Let's get the Germans involved. You know, not just the black community, but you know, everyone. So yeah, I mean, there's this other church as well. I don't know how long they've been there for, but I've seen that there's, you know, a lot of cultures, a lot of people black people from different countries going there, and like it's amazing, you know, what they're doing, and it's like a new thing. It never used to be that way. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just believe the thing that we need to, the older generation needs to hand the reins to the younger generation.
You're not going to.
So that's where the problem is.
Going to. The reason why I wanted to speak to you was I know that the black church is a huge part of any black community in terms of shaping the minds of the people and stuff like that. So I was hoping that maybe if I get someone like you, and you can obviously speak to your circle of friends, and you can in your church kind of start to bring up these ideas that, you know, we're trying to bring everybody together and trying to develop everyone and push the culture forward. You were telling me about an event that you have. Do you want to elaborate on that? So
we have an event that's coming up on the 5th and 6th of July. It's like a 2-day conference. It's called the Convergence. So it's the Convergence of His Power and His Glory, talking about God. And the theme is the divine alignment. So we expect people to come and find their purpose, find their path, you know, what they're meant to do in life. You know, we want to inspire people to be the best version of themselves that God has ordained for them to be. So, you know, that's what the conference is really about, to bring people in alignment with their purpose and the will of God in their lives. So yeah, that's what the conference is about.
I will put a link in the description for people to be able to access that, so we can kind of help you push that forward.
Definitely.
But yeah, Darius, appreciate you coming, man. It's been good talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
Let's keep the conversation going in every circle that we have.
100%.
And like you said, all of this is ministry, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes. This is definitely a means of ministry. I mean, you're reaching a lot of people, and I mean, it's something positive that is helping the community, especially the black community. So, I mean, well done, bro. You're doing amazing.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
I'm honored.
Thanks
Thank you.